We are Black Horse. We are South.
National League East cellar dwellers just 1 year ago, the Braves and Phillies have turned heads in April, showcasing exciting young talent, powerful lineups, and superb defense. The entertaining division rivalry's been renewed, and the fun continues in the rubber match in Philly next. Once again from beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, it's time for Braves baseball. And another big crowd is gathering for the third, final, and rubber sesh of our three-game series. It's the Braves and the Phillies. Atlanta has a chance to win their third straight series head-to-head with their division rivals. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe. Braves have had their way with Philadelphia so far this year. Defense, offense, pitching, individual numbers, Joe, have been great, and the overall season results have been too.
Seems like every night we keep saying somebody's a different hero for the Braves offensively, and it's been that way against the Phillies too. Take a look at some of these numbers. Inciarte, high average. Freddie Freeman, high on base percentage. Nick Markakis with another home run against them last night. Almost hit a second one last night. High slugging percentage. And Ryan Flaherty against his old ball club who released him this spring, a .406 average. So those guys are certainly picking up a lot of slack for everybody else. And fending off the fields, well, the pitching. How about for Vizcaino? No runs. Winkler, awesome, no runs. Shane Carl's been out there as much as anybody. He's only given up one earned run. And as you said earlier, Brendan McCarthy's 2-0 against him, and he goes today. So things are really looking up for Atlanta against the Phillies, a team that the Braves had trouble with the last couple of years.
Great to see if Atlanta can win this series against the Phillies, an Eastern Division foe. Then we get set for the New York Mets. But still some unfinished business here at the Bank Vault. The series finale, McCarthy versus Velasquez. Paul Bird joins us with a very interesting Braves lineup. And then first pitch next.
and by Delta Airlines.
Welcome back to Citizens Bank Park, everybody, for the finale, the rubber match between the Braves and the Phillies. Now, my mama said, son, you can't always make everybody happy, and that was great advice. And how about the new lineup that Brian Snitker put out today that's not going to make everybody happy? But you know what? This is a great lineup with a lot of lineups. Our Toyota starting lineup, you'll see Albies leading off. That's a change. Inciarte, who's hit the Phillies well in the past, is batting ninth. We got speed in the 7-hole. Acuna gets plenty of protection from Freeman and Markakis. Very excited, very ready to go. I love the fact that he was convicted about it. He brought everybody in and talked to them about it, and we will see some changes. Chip and Joe, I'm very excited that we have a lineup that we can respectfully argue about with all these options.
It is nice to have options, isn't it, Paul? And that's what Brian was talking about before the game. You look at the guys in the lineup today, Joe, you could make a case that there are at least 4 guys who could bat first, and you wouldn't blink an eye if any of those guys were placed on the number 1 spot.
Look at numbers 6 and 7, Camargo and Swanson. Those 2 guys can bat anywhere in the lineup, and I mean anywhere. And the same goes for these outfielders and middle infielders alike, where they could be used any way Brian Snitker wants to. We'll see how this works out today.
That's Vince Velasquez, who has had no luck against Atlanta this year. And is coming off a loss his last game.
Good numbers against everybody else, but not the Bravos.
And his last game was against the Diamondbacks, and his first today is rifled deep to right field on the first pitch. A leadoff homer for Albies. Unbelievable.
Brian Snitker's got to be smiling down there.
He's a genius.
That's not the first time we've seen Ozzie ambush a first pitch that he saw in a ball game. It's just that he hasn't let off a game like that. Another extra base hit for him, his 9th homer. 1 pitch, 1-0.
So Velasquez already trailing in the game. Here's Acuna. Let's see if it's the anything you can do, I can do better tandem working here for Atlanta. 3rd career leadoff homer for Ozzie Albies. And the pitch to Ronald is bounced the other way. That's headed into shallow right field. Look at Acuna fly around first. He's chugging for 2. He's going to belly flop in with a double.
With respect to this lineup, how do you like me now? Breaking ball, he waited on it and kind of fought it off in a way and got it down the line. And this is the fun part, getting to watch him run.
Here's Freddie Freeman, a 7-game hitting streak with 13 hits in that stretch, 2 of them homers. He should have had a third one were it not for the heroics of Adubel Herrera in center field last night. New lineup, same results for the Atlanta offense. The Braves, as you know, first in the National League in average, first in runs scored, second fewest strikeouts, and they're hitting .315 as Joe showed you with runners in scoring position. And the first chance today is for Freddie Freeman. Lifted to the left and slicing out of play, even count. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Freddie's just had limited success against Velasquez, 4 for 16, but the way he's locked in right now and squaring up everything, I fully expect him to have another big day. He's hitting 7 straight.
Acuna has a good lead. The pitch is hit high in the air into shallow right. Hernandez was playing the rover spot. He'll give way to Aaron Altair, and he makes the catch. No advance, and there's the first out. Home run balls have been a problem for Velasquez, at least of late. 2 home runs in his loss to Arizona, a home run on the first pitch he's thrown today, so that gives him 3 homers in his last 5 innings pitched.
And all 5 home runs he's allowed this year have been to left-handed hitters. Lefties hitting him at a clip over 300. Right-handers not so much, barely over 200. Throws hard, 89 to 95, curve, changeup, slider. The last game against the Diamondbacks, he even bumped a few up to around 97.
Acuna leads from second for Nick Markakis, who's been red hot. Nick's got a 6-game hitting streak. During that stretch, he's hit a couple of homers, including a 2nd inning shot last night, his 4th of the year. Nick's 4th home run last season came in the Braves' 86th game. So he's way ahead of pace in the power department. And they want to keep Acuna close at second base. Scott Kingery is the Philly shortstop. J.P. Crawford placed on the DL last night with a strained right forearm. So Kingery gets the start today. The 1-0 pitch is right there, even count. Gabe Kapler's Phillies 16-10. They leave town after the game and head out to Miami and Washington. Braves head to New York for a date with the Mets. One ball, 1 strike. And that's lifted towards center. Herrera broke back. Hoskins broke back. The wind got a hold of that, and Herrera recovered to make the catch for the 2nd out.
My goodness. I knew it was blowing a little bit, but I didn't have any idea it would affect a ball like that one.
I mean, look at the flagpoles in center as you see the replay first.
He had to really hustle to get it.
Old Glory is wrapped around the flagpole. And you can see how hard the wind's blowing from left to right. So Markakis flies out. Let's see if Kurt Suzuki can bring home Acuna. Kurt batting .292 for the year. 0 for 4 so far in the series. Good to have Tyler Flowers back in the starting 9 yesterday, his 2nd game of the year. He's back from an oblique problem. The pitch is low, ball 1. A leadoff homer on the first pitch of the game for Ozzie Albies. Acuna's followed with an opposite field double. Freeman and Markakis have popped out. Now the fate of the inning rests in the hands of the Braves catcher. Acuna now 7 for 17 at the plate. Amazing. that one's all the way to the backstop. Knapp couldn't corral that. A very wild pitch sends Acuna to third base.
That was a bit of a feeble attempt at that pitch by Knapp.
Ooh, not a wild pitch. They're going to charge him a pass ball.
I like it. I like it. He gave very lackadaisical effort to try to backhand that ball. I like it.
2 balls, no strikes. Another pop up. The wind's going to push this one. Knapp, shielding his eyes, is there, makes the play. Pretty nice recovery for Velasquez after the homer and double. He gets 3 pop-ups, and he limits the damage to Ozzie Albies' 3rd career leadoff home run. It's his 9th home run of the season, folks. He's on pace for 54 of them. Atlanta leads by 1. Early lead, and Brandon has been outstanding for Atlanta this year.
Yeah, that's a 2-1 career mark. 2-0 this year with a 2.53 ERA. He is 3-0 overall, 3.38 ERA. His 4 keys to pitching success today. Number 1, RHH. Right-handed hitters are hitting about 70 points higher than left-handers, and there's 4 of them in the lineup today. And GIDP, grounded into double plays. He's coached 5 of those, and that's 2nd best in the major league. So hopefully he's got that sinker working today when he needs it.
A strike to Cesar Hernandez, who's hitless in the series. Braves have started to cool him off a little bit. Hernandez 6 for 26 against Braves pitching. A .231 mark, and that one's yanked foul, and that'll one hop into the stands. 0-2. Hernandez, Santana, and Herrera, the first 3 for the Phils. Breaking ball froze him over the outside corner. Pretty pitch. McCarthy off to a good start. 1 up, 1 down.
Excellent backdoor breaking ball. Curveball has always been his best secondary pitch, and he doesn't overuse it.
Here's the Phillies Toyota starting lineup. Carlos Santana is off to a very slow start. He's hitting .165 for the year and is 2 for 25 against the Braves. And that's a strike.
And he keeps batting 2nd. So I guess the book for the Phillies has him in the 2 spot no matter what.
Base is empty for him as McCarthy turns it loose, and that missed upstairs. Scott Berry has the plate today on a breezy, chilly afternoon. 3 balls and a strike.
He's 0 for 5 in this series, Santana, but he has walked 3 times. So while he's hitting a .165, his on base percentage overall is pretty good.
Yeah, 19 total walks for Carlos. And he's in command here. And he takes walk number 20. So McCarthy missed down in the zone. Santana is at first for Odubel Herrera, who's had a good series. 3 hits, 2 of them homers. And oh yeah, he took one away as well. So he's accounted for 6 runs, 4 with the bat, 2 with the glove, if you will. This would be a good spot for one of those grounded into double plays.
Braves have done a pretty good job pitching to these guys in this series, given how hot they were when Atlanta came to town. They've allowed only 14 hits, 5 of them, just 5 last night. But that's the 10th walk. So they're still getting a lot of guys on base.
And that's the name of the game for the Phillies. It is an interesting way of approaching things offensively. They say strikeouts don't matter. As long as their on base percentage is effective, the Phillies feel like they're going to score enough runs to win. And right now they have a plus 26 run differential because their pitching's been so good. They're down a run today for Herrera, who's down a strike, and now he's down 2 of them. And I guess that is kind of an age-old debate with the new way of looking at our sport. Which is better, on base percentage or runs and RBIs? You can have all the guys on base you want, but if nobody drives them in, you don't score.
No, sir.
He didn't offer. And 1 ball, 2 strikes. Conversely, you can't get multiple RBIs if nobody's on base. So it is a chicken versus egg proposition.
I'm looking at the guys at home plate. The umpire pant legs are really whipping around. Herrera's uniform is really billowing in the wind. So while it's blowing in from left field, it must be circulating around in the stadium.
1-2 pitch. And that's upstairs, even count. Herrera has been on base in 28 straight games. He's hitting .344 as well. And he's got hits in 24 of those 28 affairs. Not in a row, but over that stretch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brandon's been missing pretty consistently to that side of the plate. Full count.
Trying to get the left-handed hitters to reach.
Phillies see about 4 pitches per plate appearance. That's at or near the top in the National League. Herrera's got a full count here in his first look at McCarthy. Santana leads, doesn't go, and it's ball 4. So Herrera claps his hands. That's successful at bat. Back-to-back walks brings up Rhys Hoskins, the Phillies left fielder.
Especially when he was behind 0-2.
And now you have to face the #1 on-base man in the game. That is Rhys Hoskins. Second in the National League to Bryce Harper with 23 walks. 4th in hitting at .333. He's also knocked in 19 runs. And Herrera's on base for a 29th straight game. He's at first. And that one inside corner for a strike, a place you suggested the Braves might try to get Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah, I wish they would try that more often. It was effective last night. He did not like a call that went against him late. Find out if you can make him uncomfortable in there.
Quickly 0-2. called third strike, and then back-to-back walks for the Phillies. And now the 0-2 is off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As we've said in this series, there should be no secrets by now with these pitching matchups lining up the way that they have. All 3 series have seen the exact same 3 pitchers in order for both clubs. As Joe said, McCarthy 3 earned runs and 10 2/3 innings against the Phillies this year, and he's won 2 games.
Last 2 matchups in the series in New York be the same thing too, what we saw in Atlanta. Last 2 games, Tehran, Syndergaard, and then Foltynewicz and DeGrom, who hooked up in matching zeros.
Brandon's not been able to dial it in quite yet, pitching very carefully to these Phillies. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. So Hoskins is down on strikes. So far we have 2 of the 3 outcomes for the Phillies offense.
Yeah.
2 strikeouts, 2 bases on balls.
I hope we don't get the third.
Right.
Very high breaking ball that Hoskins was a little late in deciding he was going to go after it, but knew it was too close to take.
And now Aaron Altair is the batter. Altair batting .167 and 2 for 19 against the Braves. The pitch to him is knee high and split the plate. Up the middle, Ozzie keeps it on the infield. Throw back to third, everybody's safe. Great play by Albies to prevent Santana from lumbering home. It's an infield hit, and that loads him up for the catcher, Andrew Knapp.
This is basically the adage of knock it down. Anything on the ground to the infield is knock it down to prevent that runner from second scoring. He did one better. He was able to glove it, but no, he didn't have a play anywhere else.
So no place to put Knapp, the Phillies catcher. He was a pinch hitter and struck out. Jorge Alfaro started the first 2 games of the series, and Knapp takes a strike. And it's getting ahead of these Phillies. He's finished off 2 of them via strikeout. No place to put Knapp in a 1-0 game. Nice stop by Kurt. Even count. Two walks and an infield hit have them loaded for the Phillies. McCarthy a strike away from preserving the lead. Braves big right-hander ready to go with his 1-2 and a swing and a miss.
Nice comeback.
McCarthy strikes out the side with a little first inning drama. A couple of walks. The infield hit saves a run, preserves a 1-0 Atlanta lead as Johan Camargo gets set to hit in the top of the second. birthday today. Big birthday card, big birthday cake. The Fanatic's mom is here. Big crowd. If that doesn't say baseball, I don't know what does.
Brings a little tear to your eye.
Sure does. I love those hats. That is a great mascot lid, and it's come in handy today. It's a chilly afternoon. As Johan Camargo gets a start for Ryan Flaherty at third base today. Johan is 4 for 13 so far this year. Pretty productive. 4 hits, 4 RBIs. You'll take that pace the rest of the summer. And he smokes one to second, and that'll be the first out. Hernandez is there. 1 away. Here's Dansby. All the talk about the lineup change for Atlanta and how different the starting 9 looks. McCarthy hitting 8th. From a hitter's perspective, does that change your approach at the plate, or is it still see the ball, hit the ball in a spot like this?
I don't think it changes your approach. It just, I heard Brian Snitker say before the game, it sometimes just changes the environment a little bit around which you're hitting and the situations that come along that you're accustomed to. You know, this was all about Ender. This was all about trying to get him going, which I look at it and I say, wait a minute, hadn't he hit in 11 out of 12 games or 10 out of 11, something like that? But Ender's not satisfied with the way he's been swinging the bat, and he was agreeable to this in an effort just to kind of change things up for him.
And if the Braves are retired in order here, the benefit of having the pitcher hit 8th could come into play in the 3rd inning. You'd have essentially 2 leadoff hitters. Heck, you could say 3 leadoff hitters in Inciarte, Albies, and Acuna coming up against Velasquez. 1 ball, 1 strike for Dansby, who's 1 for 8 in this series, and didn't get it. Dansby also 4 for 24 at the plate on the road trip. Ozzie Albies homered on the first pitch of the game. That's where we stand here in the top of the 2nd. And Velasquez missed badly. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Velasquez a little bit like Aaron Nola. His first time, second time, third time through the order, they get progressively better in terms of the average against him gets worse. He gets better. Get him early, you may not get him.
Dansby didn't get a fastball at 94. That is the first strikeout for Velasquez. And there's out number 2. McCarthy has a couple of RBIs. Let's see if he can keep the inning alive. He is batting 8th for the Braves. And he backs away from ball 1. Got a generous strike there, which you know he'll take when he goes back to work in the 2nd. Phillies think a lot of Velasquez, but he has been maddeningly inconsistent for them. First the pitch. 2016 he went 8-6, a 4.12 ERA, made 24 starts, and they thought, okay, he's probably on his way to maybe being a top of the rotation guy.
Yeah.
Last year 15 starts, 2-7, a 5-point ERA, and went to the DL with a right middle finger injury in mid-August. And so they see all the talent, they see the radar gun lighting up, but they see Velasquez 1-3 with a 4.50 ERA and teams hitting .270 against him.
Yeah, high velocity for him's not translating to success either.
And strike 3 to McCarthy. 3 up, 3 down. Back-to-back strikeouts for Velasquez. Atlanta 1, Phillies nothing. Bottom part of the order coming up.
Nothing over the Phillies, bottom of the second now. Pitcher Brandon McCarthy, very, very cerebral. And on game day, you don't even talk to him. He is in the zone. When catchers put down a signal, those are suggestions. So I was really surprised to hear that he is actually not involved in the suggestions. He said, Paul, whatever Zook puts down, I go with. So what I learned today was when you're really, really intelligent, sometimes it's better just to simplify and worry about making the pitch. Guys, it's been working for him lately.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
Could we talk to you on the day you pitched?
Early in my career, you couldn't. And then I ran into Greg Maddux in Philly, who told me he would talk to anybody on the days that he pitched. And I said, what are you doing? He said, Paul, my job's to hit the inside and the outside corner with my pitches. If me being mad and not talking to you helps me do that, then I'll do it. He said, but it has nothing to do with me getting out on the mound and executing a pitch. And I thought, you know what, he's right. I learned to relax, and it helped me hit my spots better too.
So we could say that Greg Maddux made you a nice guy.
He even told me he would take pictures on the scoreboard. You ever see Maddux? And he looked so goofy. And he said, I don't want to do anything to get the hitter riled up, so I'm not going to stare him down and look tough. That's not my game.
Line drive into center. That's going to get down for a base hit. Michael Franco with his third hit of the series. Brings up Scott Kingery, who was born to be a Philly. It's the Fanatic's birthday today. It's also Scott Kingery's birthday today.
And he looks like he graduated from high school last week.
Kingery's 2 for 5 in the set, batting .222. I got a question for you as well, Paul. With the wind blowing the way that it is, you pitch in the protective confines of the bullpens and get ready for your start. You come to the mound, the wind's blowing in your face. How does that affect your release, your grip, and your aim?
Well, there's good and bad news. When the wind's blowing in your face, the ball goes straight down. So if you have a curveball, it pushes straight down, and it's kind of what we saw last night with Fulte. If the wind's blowing right or left, I hated it when it blew from right field to left, because all of my pitches, my slider and my curveball, broke the opposite direction. The wind was pushing it, so I knew I was in for a long day. So as long as it's blowing straight in your face or right to left for a right-hander, you're pretty excited. And when it swirls, you just kind of guess, shoot for the middle, and don't get greedy.
Fouled away right side by Kingery. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Could that be what McCarthy was trying to compensate for in the first inning when he kept missing arm side to the Phillies with those 2 walks back to back?
Yeah, it could be. I think in the first inning especially, you're trying to figure that out. The wind is unusual here in that it comes in and it swirls a little bit. So he had trouble finding himself, but did it.
There's one. And Kingery runs well. Slow ground ball. The Braves get the leading runner, Franco, at second base. And Kingery trades places with him for Velasquez, who's a good hitting pitcher, by the way, with one out.
Almost got that sixth double play grounded into behind him. Maybe you can get one here from the pitcher.
Velasquez is a lifetime .236 hitter as a pitcher. He's also pinch hit once.
He's 3 for 8 this year.
No sign of a bunt from the Phillies pitcher in a 1-0 game. Kingery's 3 for 3 in stolen bases, so you want to keep an eye on him. There's the bunt, but it's foul. Strike 2. We'll see if the bunt sign is still on for Velasquez, with Cesar Hernandez waiting next.
Third base coach is Dusty Wathen, son of John Wathen, the longtime catcher for the Kansas City Royals. Dusty's been a longtime manager in the Phillies organization. Last couple of 3 years at AAA, and he's an organizational man, and congratulations to him.
McCarthy comes set with his 0-2 pitch. Pretty good cut. We'll do it again.
One of his better fastballs too at 92.
The 0-2. He didn't offer. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Whole new staff for the Phillies with Gabe Kapler, Jose David Flores, the first base coach, Jim Gotts in the bullpen, Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, John Malley, the new hitting coach, Rob Thompson, the bench coach. As Kingery sent back to the first base bag as we wait a 1-2 count to Velasquez. Ender shaded way around toward right. And a swing and a miss. Velasquez can't advance the runner. McCarthy has his 4th strikeout. His first strikeout victim's coming up next. Cesar Hernandez. McCarthy hasn't struck out a lot of guys this year, but he's got that pitch working here in game 3 of the series.
6 is his high, and it came against the Philadelphia Phillies 2 starts ago.
And the knee's a strike to Hernandez, who was frozen on a breaking ball to be McCarthy's first out of the day. Let's see if he goes to the well with the same sequence here. He's ahead 0-2. A lot of pitches to play with for Hernandez. And at Paul's point, Kurt puts the sign down and McCarthy to work. Swing and a miss. And that'll take care of Hernandez. That's the 5th strikeout for McCarthy, and the inning is over. So we'll get to look at the back-to-back leadoff men for Atlanta. Ender Inciarte will lead off. He's batting 9th today, and the Braves lead 1-0. Ozzie Albies hit the first pitch of the game out of the ballpark. As we told you at the start of the broadcast today, Brian Snitker has dramatically reshuffled his starting lineup today with Ender Inciarte batting 9th. But as irony would have it, he's going to lead off inning number 3 in front of Albies and Acuna. As Joe said, Ender's been getting his hits. He's got a hit in 11 of 12 games, 19 hits in total. So it was really a shock to the system to see him move down in the order. And he jumps on the first pitch and hammers one into the corner, and he's going to run for a while. Ender's around second. He's going to streak to third base. He's tripled on the first pitch.
That too should put a smile on the face of Brian Snitker. If you recall, when the first guy I think that we saw do this was Tony La Russa. Fastball, ripped it down the line. And La Russa did it when he had Albert Pujols batting 3rd in his lineup. And one of the explanations he gave was that the second time through the order, that meant there would be a hitter, not a pitcher, who would make Pujols a cleanup type hitter. You'd have 4 guys batting in front of him. Well, you might make that same case for Freddie Freeman right now too.
Infield comes in already for the Phillies in a 1-0 game here in the 3rd inning. Albies homered on the first pitch. All the Braves need is a single to hit for the cycle already in the game. They've got the homer, the double, and the triple out of the way. The pitch stayed high, ball 2. First triple of the season for Inciarte. And that stayed outside, ball 3. Now it's Ozzie's turn to show a little patience here with Acuna waiting next. That's in for a strike. We've talked a lot about how the matchups have been identical in each of the games in this series, 1, 2, and 3. Might be a good question for Paul. Velasquez is the guy that's facing the most dramatic change in the Braves lineup in the first 9 games, with Ender hitting 9th today. And the man that led off the game got things started as quickly as you can.
First pitch, fastball down and in, golfed out of here. And it was not a wall scraper. Almost 400 feet.
number 9 for Ozzie Albies. So 3 career leadoff homers in 8 games, batting first. He's got a full count now. And the pitch stayed high. Ball 4. That was close. And Atlanta's got runners at first and third. Nobody out.
Full count, breaking ball. Nat tried, but he couldn't get it down low enough.
So as Rick Kranitz talks things over with Velasquez, Paul, let me ask you that. Everybody in the Phillies starting rotations used to seeing Ender Inciarte leading off with Albies second, Freeman third. How differently does that mess up his game plan as he gets set for his third start against the Braves with Ozzie batting first?
Well, it's a little confusing because you're going to have more info on Inciarte than you will Albies. So guys are still trying to figure him out and realizing that he's very good and again leading the National League in homers. But then you come down to the bottom of the lineup, Inciarte's hot. So no matter how you stack it, it's pretty good. Where you will see, and you saw in last inning, is you're not going to try to, you want to lead off with McCarthy. So Swanson is going to be protected at times because he's going to get pitches to hit until there's guys on base where they may pitch around him. But if I'm a Phillies pitcher right now, I'm a little confused and I'm trying to navigate and come up with the reason why. We also have Acuna, again, who could lead off or hit third or hit fourth. So as a pitcher, he's hitting second and Freddie's protecting him. So this is a really tough lineup.
First and third, nobody out. And again, Velasquez to first.
That's a very good point that you raised there, Paul, about having Acuna batting in front of Freddie.
Yeah, I want to pitch around that guy because this is the super phenom Bo Jackson type tools, and so I'm nervous, especially if I don't know him well and I can't pitch around him now.
Runner at first goes. The pitch dropped by Knapp, and Ozzie has a stolen base, his third. Boy, the Braves have been running, and then running some more here in the month of April. It has been fun to watch. The Braves second in the league in stolen bases now. That is their 22nd steal. Only the Nationals have more. And now a hit could mean 2 for Acuna. Second and third, 1-0 count. And I think you are seeing some of that uncertainty from Velasquez, the way he's
I think so too.
Picking through this lineup.
I think there's some uncertainty about how they want to play their defense. They were playing in with a runner at third and nobody else on base. Now at second and third, the middle infielders are playing halfway. Why?
2-0. Little pop into shallow center. Kingery's going out. He makes the catch over the shoulder. That was a tough play. The wind had a hold of that, and he had to run a curl route to pull it in for out number 1. Braves popped out 3 times in a row with a runner in scoring position in the first inning. Acuna pops out here.
Nice play by the rookie.
So with second and third, 1 out now, the Phillies all looking into the dugout for defensive positioning instructions. Freeman's got the whole left side of the infield to play with if he wants to shoot one that way. Downstairs, ball 1.
Yeah, they've got the shift onto the right side, but the outfield is shading Freddie toward the left field line.
One ball, no strikes. Got to make some contact here. This is a key spot in the game. A triple, a walk, a steal, now a pop out. With Atlanta up by a run. 1 ball, 1 strike for Freeman. That's lifted into left. Hoskins is coming on. He is there. Ender is going to go halfway. And another shallow fly ball can't bring home Inciarte.
Boy, pop-ups.
That's not going to work on a day like today, at least to left field. And now they're 2 out.
Pretty good work by Velasquez. First inning, a runner at second. Later, he was at third to get 3 pop-ups. And now second and third, nobody out, and 2 pop-ups. Not deep enough to score the run.
Braves have been so good this year hitting with runners in scoring position. They have not been good yet today. They're 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position and less than 2 outs. Let's see if Nick can pick everybody up here with a 2-out knock. And a strike. Inciarte tripled on the first pitch of the inning. Albies walked. Then stole second. They're still anchored there with 2 outs now. Bouncing ball up the middle. It is knocked down. 1 run scores. They'll have no chance to get Albies, who scores from second on an infield hit. Nick put it in a perfect spot, and he picks up Atlanta with a 2-run scoring single, and it's now 3-0.
How about that? They've got the shift on. They got Hernandez deep, out on the outfield grass. Now, this probably would have been in a normal setup, probably would have been a base hit up the middle, but in this case, Hernandez is able to get over and glove it because he had the ability from that depth to go get it, but no chance to throw home and get a fast runner.
So what the shift giveth, it also taketh away, and Atlanta takes advantage with Markakis' 17th and 18th RBIs. Braves 3, Phillies nothing for Kurt Suzuki. And a belt high strike. It's 0-1. Speed never slumps. That is one of the old sayings in baseball. Might have been a Branch Rickeyism, and it has been very apparent for the Braves on this road trip. Stealing bases, going first to third. Albies with 2 outs never stopped running, and they had no chance to get him. And now a hot shot headed for the left field corner. That's down for a hit. Here comes Markakis on his way to third. Ron Washington is going to hold him up. It's a ringing double for Suzuki, and Atlanta's got him second and third again with 2 outs.
And another double for Atlanta. And this was just eating Ron Washington up. It was. That was a breaking ball too, not a fastball. Ron Washington loves to wave guys home, but had to throw up the stop sign there with that ball getting in quickly by the Phillies.
Braves have 4 extra base hits in the game, 2 more doubles, giving them 62 for the season. The next closest team in the National League is the Dodgers, who have 54 2-base hits. And now a high fly ball off the bat of Camargo. That ball is hammered to right. That ball is gone.
I'm not sure what the pitch was, Chip, but he looked a little fooled on it and still hit it out of the ballpark. He threw some top hand on a pitch out away from him and hooked it into the seats. Looked like a straight changeup. See how everything kind of stopped and then his hands stayed back enough to just throw the barrel at it?
So
Great to have him back.
Yeah, 5-run inning for Atlanta. 2 first pitch homers for Atlanta in the game, both of them by those men. Braves have 5 extra base hits. And now a pop up off the bat of Dansby is back behind the plate and playable for Knapp, and that retires the side. Fans in Philly aren't happy. Braves fans are. It's 6-0, middle of the third. Celebrating April in the ATL here at Citizens Bank Ballpark. 3 teams over 30 days with the Braves, Hawks, and Atlanta United all month long. It's brought to you by Advance Auto Parts.
I don't know that Chipper did as much damage to the Phillies as he used to do to the Mets, but it's amazing how he can walk around and go to the Art Center and everything without being recognized.
He did a remarkable job of fighting the Rocky statue last night.
Yeah.
One of his better efforts. And the Braves put a half a 10 on the board in the top of the 3rd inning with 5 runs, capped by the Johan Camargo 3-run homers. So for Brandon McCarthy, he's got 6 runs to play with on a blustery day at the bank vault. And this is nothing new for McCarthy. He has pitched well, make no mistake, but as you know, sometimes in this game it's when you pitch that's as important as how you've pitched. And he's got the best of both worlds here in Philly today. He's got Santana, Herrera, and Hoskins coming up. 2 walks and a strikeout for that trio in the Phillies' opening inning. Popped up. Suzuki behind the plate gives chase. He's at the screen, but runs out of room. A ball and 2 strikes for Santana. Braves have a shift on for Carlos. And now the 1-2 pitch is outside for an even count. Phillies' next opponent is the Marlins. They're beating Colorado 2-0 today. That game's in the 6th inning. Washington's up 2-0 on Arizona at home. The pitch a little high. Full count. Mets are in San Diego later on. Braves will see New York on Tuesday night.
Who's the Sunday night game?
Yankees and the Angels.
Oh, the Yankees are on?
Shocker, huh? At least it's not the Red Sox. I hope Albert Pujols goes 5 for 5 tonight.
That would be worth watching then.
He's 5 hits away from 3,000.
Hamilton Simmons is always worth watching. Mike Trout's worth watching.
Yep. 3 balls, 2 strikes for Santana, and he protects and fouls away. It's Ohtani mania out there. I'm sure that's part of it for the Sunday night affair. The Angels are a game and a half behind Houston in the AL West. The Yankees have won 8 in a row. They're 2 back of Boston. 3-2 again. And that's hit over first, but hooked foul. Brandon's thrown a lot of pitches. This will be the 8th of this at bat to Santana and the 48th of the game.
And he doesn't want to walk him.
Out with a 6-run lead.
No.
Thirteen of those 48 pitches have been foul balls today. The pitch is lifted high in the air toward left. That's being pushed near the line, and it is going to be caught by Johan Camargo, who ranges into shallow left field near the line and made a heck of a play. Can't give up on anything. It'll be pushed back toward the infield in this ballpark today.
Speaking of versatility, Camargo can play short and third. He was lined up at shortstop. This is not totally foreign to him, having to go out to that part of the ballpark to try to make a catch on a pop-up. He just didn't want to get run over.
Here's Herrera. He clapped his hands after earning a walk in the first inning after a quick 0-2 count. And strike one.
Just a lot of good movable pieces. Flaherty can play anywhere. Camargo can. Outfielders are pretty much interchangeable. So far, so good.
Yeah, and that's a great point. First, the 0-1 pitch. With all due respect to Matt Kemp, Matt could only play left field for Atlanta. That was a piece that really couldn't move for the Braves. So flexibility is the name of the game in this sport. Interchangeable positions, interchangeable spots in the batting order. Atlanta has all of that here in 2018. And it's hard to argue with the results of this new look lineup after 3 turns through the 3 innings played, I should say. 6 runs on 6 hits and a handful of extra base hits to boot.
Well, even in center field, I think about Cincinnati. They take Billy Hamilton out of the lineup. They've got to put a corner outfielder in center field. It's not the same. That's not the case here with the Braves.
Bouncing ball to Freeman. He gets a Sunday hop and a Sunday stroll to the bag for out number 2. Here's Hoskins. He struck out and he's 0 for 1. This man stays healthy. He figures to have a very productive career hitting in this ballpark. Last year he finished 4th in the Rookie of the Year voting despite not making his big league debut until the 10th of August. And he's going to swing at the first pitch and roll to short. Dansby's got it. Quick inning for McCarthy. He needed that. Atlanta back to work with a 6-0 lead. 2018, and today no exception. Already 6 runs on 6 hits. 5 of those runs coming in their last turn against Vince Velasquez, who's given up 5 home runs in his last 7 innings. And that's our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot.
That is really good stuff right there. Love the day game record too. But Camargo and Albies and Acuna now are having such a good time together, the 3 amigos, and to see Acuna just bop Camargo in the top of the head with his helmet on after the homer is pretty funny. Not sure what happened to Johan's head. He might have bumped into LeBron James. Is he wearing a Band-Aid now?
No balls, 2 strikes. And McCarthy smacks that off Knapp's mask, and he'll stay alive 0-2. There's no doubt there is a youthful excitement around this team. 2 youngest players in the major leagues, Acuna and Albies. Camargo not too far behind either. That's strike 3 called. McCarthy won't argue. And that is strikeout number 3 for Velasquez. 1 away for Ender, who tripled on the first pitch he saw today.
Well, we all know that Camargo and Albies made their debuts last year, but there's a sense of kind of the baby Braves when Frank Coeur, Can, Kelly Johnson, I'm missing somebody.
Blaine Boyer, McKay McBride.
Yeah, those guys all kind of came up together, and they injected a youthful exuberance into a team that really kind of pushed them into the postseason their first year. So I see a lot of similarities to that because all those guys were good players.
Well, sure.
These guys are all good players. They're not just rookies trying to make their mark or just figure out a way to stay on the club. They're going to be bona fide contributors.
I remember in the Braves locker room after they clinched their playoff spot at Turner Field and the champagne was spraying. There's the 1-1 pitch. John Schuerholz was standing in the locker room looking on very paternalistically and very proudly, because you could just see sort of a passing of the torch from the Glavine, Smoltz, and Maddoxes to those young baby Braves that were going to take the Braves forward in such terrific fashion. And for several years they did. Who knows, maybe that's, as you said, the same thing happening in 2018.
There's a sense of it.
One ball, 2 strikes for Ender Inciarte, who's got 10 hits on the road trip. His second in this series. And he takes a little low. That hit a continuation of what has been a very balanced and productive Atlanta offensive attack. The Braves have 5 players now with 30 or more hits before the 1st of May. The last team to do it, the Cardinals.
That's outstanding.
Two and 2, 1 out. Ender laid off. And now for the Phillies, their challenge is, as we've told you a couple of times, their first 40 games or so, they have what, at least on paper, looked like a relatively soft schedule. They only had on paper at the start of the year 2 series against teams that had winning records last year. They just lost a series to the Diamondbacks. They have a series with Washington coming up on their road trip. But they didn't count on the Braves beating them in the first 2 series and threatening to take the 3rd series to start the year here in Philadelphia. And that's served toward left. Hoskins is on the run. He can't get there. So Ender's 2 for 2. 7 Atlanta hits. And after an 8-pitch at bat, Ender is aboard again, this time with 1 out. Love it. Let's see how creatively the Braves approach this situation. Albies is in the box. Ender is at first. He's got 12 stolen bases.
Pretty good pitch. A little wide. Nothing wrong with Velasquez's arm. Throws hard. He's shown you a pretty good breaking ball at times, but he does go to a lot of deep counts. Does that sound familiar?
It does. And I was about to say, like Mike Foltynewicz, he's a former Astro. He came over in the big Ken Giles deal after the 2015 season.
He might have been the pick right after Foltynewicz, as I recall. Well, Folty was a first-round pick. Is that 2010?
Yep, he was a second-round choice.
Yeah, let me check Mike's.
One ball, one strike. Wind continues to blow left to right for Ozzie Albies, who's homered, walked, scored twice, and stolen a base. Tied him up.
Yeah, Mike was the first-round pick that same year.
That's pretty good drafting.
Uh-huh.
And that was in the midst of Houston's, I believe, 3 straight years of 100 losses,
right,
which they'd obviously never done before.
Well, the Phillies have done a nice job. We've talked and bragged on them a lot with respect to their rebuild, their young players through their system. Like Crawford, like Kingery, like Hoskins, like Nola, they drafted him. But they've also made some nice trades, trading away some of their veteran guys like Giles to get Velasquez, and the deal that brought them Pivetta from Washington for Papelbon.
And the Cole Hamels trade.
Yeah,
That's another big one.
So they've really enhanced their farm system with some very astute trades, especially when it comes to arms.
2 balls, 1 strike. Got the call there. Ozzie gave up on that pitch and now has a 2-2 count coming.
That one came back a little bit, enough for Scott Barry anyway.
Long way to go in this game, but the Braves are beating a very good team. The Philadelphia Phillies had a chance to catch them in the standings today. If they can finish this one off, 2 balls, 2 strikes, again to first. Braves will see Philadelphia again in May. A 3-game series here, May 21st, 2nd, and 3rd. Then we won't see him again until September. And Braves and Phillies will play 7 of their final 11 games head-to-head. Swing and a miss by Ozzie. And he is victim number 4 via strikeout for Velasquez. 2 outs.
That's the changeup that he made a mistake on location-wise to Camargo. And Johan hit out of the ballpark.
So here's Ronald. He doubled in the first. He popped out in the 3rd. Acuna off to a 7 for 18 start at the plate. He's gotten on base in 5 straight games. That's the longest by a Braves rookie to start his career since Evan Gattis reached in his first 9 games. That was 5 years ago. I mean, it is so much fun to talk about all the firsts that we're seeing from this Atlanta team. This is our final game of April. I'm sure there are a lot of guys in that locker room that would say from a statistical standpoint they hope April never ends.
True.
Albies, Acuna, Freeman, Markakis.
It's always great to get off to a good start.
The 1-0 count.
Because if you don't, it takes a long time to get back to respectability. If you start off in your season with one of those 2 for 30 type things, boy, is it hard to catch up.
Ender leads with 2 outs, 2-0 count. 64 pitches, 40 of them this inning. That is not in time. It's another steal for Ender. That's number 13. Ender Inciarte at his flying feet. 13 stolen bases now as a team record before May the 1st, formerly held by Kenny Lofton.
Picked a good pitch to run on again. Breaking ball.
So a hit means a run here. 3 balls and a strike. Way outside, it's ball 4. Acuna's aboard, and they walk him in front of Freddie Freeman. That's usually a recipe for a big problem. And the Phillies bullpen, as of now, has no one throwing, but they are stirring down there in right center field. Freddie's hit the ball in the air twice. He's 0 for 2.
It's a different view from their center field plaza area.
Swing and a miss. When this place first opened, I was not a big fan of it because the porch in left field was so seemingly ridiculously short. I mean, Ryan Howard would hit pop flies, would be home runs. They've changed that a little bit. A little bit more pitcher friendly in left. Man, what a great park. Now, what's going to make this trip for the Braves to Philadelphia over the years more fun? They're going to have a real good team. The Braves are going to have a real good team, and it's going to become another excellent rivalry in Eastern Division play again. 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball 2 to Freddie.
Yeah, looking out there in their center field plaza, just where did Harry the K's restaurant go, or concession area? Moved it upstairs. Ah, there it is. Okay. Above the second deck in left field.
The pitch. Missed inside, ball 3. I didn't notice if they trimmed the bushes out in center field. Did you?
I don't think they did.
No?
Not the one that Herrera jumped into yesterday.
And we were told that the reason the Braves challenged that call, or at least had the umpires take a look, if the ball hit the bushes before the glove, it would have been a home run, even if the ball had been caught. But that clearly wasn't the case. Sadly for Freeman, the pitch. And he fouls that away for a full count.
Jake Thompson up. He was up briefly last night after just being called back up.
Another piece of the Cole Hamels trade. Three balls, 2 strikes. Inciarte leads at second. Acuna from first. They'll get a head start with a full count. And they're off. It's fouled straight back. Whew, what a cut.
Like most pitchers, Velasquez's fastball is more effective when it's down. I think that's why you've seen a few pop-ups today, oddly enough.
Another chance for Freddie. 3-2. And a ground ball hit to the right side. Kingery fields, fires, and got him by a step. The shift paid off that time as Freddie Freeman rolls out. Braves strand a pair in the 4th, but lead 6-0 in Game 3.
because of his right trap. He played catch yesterday, did not go as well as they would hope. He was supposed to throw again today. I'll find out more from Snicker later. Anibal Sanchez testing that pulled hamstring tomorrow. But Mike Soroka from AAA, who was 2-0 with a 1.99 ERA, was scratched from today's start. So he will be available to come up if needed in the week. And if that happens, the Braves will have the 3 youngest players in the big leagues, with Soroka only 4 months older than Ronald Acuna. Guys, great stuff. Back to you.
Wow, that is good stuff, Paul.
And first of all, we hope Julio's going to be okay. We want him to make his start. If he can't, and Sanchez isn't ready, that would mean Soroka could be eligible to pitch on Wednesday night against the Mets' Noah Syndergaard in New York. Wouldn't that be an amazing place for your debut?
Sure would.
So we'll find out more about Julio's status after the game today, which is led by the Braves 6-0 behind Brandon McCarthy and Atlanta's rampaging offense. A fly ball hammered toward left. That's over Acuna's head. It's off the base of the wall. Altair with long strides is on his way to second, and he's got a leadoff double. He's 2 for 2. Glad that came in the 4th and not the 1st.
Yes. Speaking of guys that got off to a slow start, Altair off to a horrible start, but once the team got home, he started swinging the bat a little better, and you get hanging curveballs up in your eyes, you always feel a little better.
Andrew Knapp struck out with the bases loaded in the 1st inning, so he's 0 for 1. Knapp 4 for 19 against Braves pitching this year. Phillies have 3 hits, and that just missed. Ball 1. Ground ball to the right side. Tricky hop, but Ozzie stayed with it. Productive out for Knapp. Runner at 3rd, 1 away for Franco.
This guy's a bit of an enigma. Good looking player, can hit. Singled his first time up today. But Jeff Francoeur, who was a teammate of his when Jeff played here, said, you know, he's also very frustrating as a teammate because he can just kind of go along and not look like he's into it at all, and then all of a sudden he's put together a hitting streak and he's hit a bunch of homers and he's really contributing. And a shot there of Jeff helping Jim Powell out on the radio on this road trip. And congratulations to Frenchie, by the way. He'll be inducted into the Gwinnett Hall of Fame tomorrow night.
I think he just read a promo. Looks like he's got that covered. The pitch is cut on and missed.
Don't forget tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Gwinnett County Convention Center.
That's exactly right. There's no doubt. Well, it's been great having Jeff on the trip, just like old times. As Franco digs in, 1 ball, 1 strike. And in the air toward right. Markakis near the line, the wind pushing that foul, and that'll bounce into the seats.
Wind is really pushing balls to the stands on the right field side.
We sure miss that man, don't we?
Yeah.
Roy Halladay's such a big part of the Phillies' great years here, with Hamels and Cliff Lee and Chase Utley and Ryan Howard. Just great teams. Jimmy Rollins, It was fun coming here. This place was sold out for what, 400 days in a row, something crazy like that. Back in that era, won the world championship.
I was privileged to be working the night he threw the no-hitter in the postseason.
High hopper hit toward third. The Braves will concede the run. Low throw. Freeman can't dig it out. Now Franco's on his way to second, and he'll be in there safely as Ozzie drops it, but the play beaten anyway. Can't do that. Would have been the second out. Now you're starting to give the Phillies a little hope. Altair scores. It's a 6-1 game, and now Franco's at second with one out.
Johan's got a great arm, but he took way too much time getting rid of this. He kind of checked the runner scoring, took a couple of crow hops, and then wasn't even close to getting it there on the fly.
So the run would have scored anyway. It's a 6-1 game. One out runner at second for Kingery. Nick Williams is on deck. He's going to hit for Velasquez as that one's chopped foul and out of play. The Braves this year have committed now 20 errors in their first 27 games. Out of play foul. No balls, 2 strikes. It was so fun coming here when you have a matchup of any of the Braves starters against Cole Hamels, Cliff Lee, and Roy Halladay. And more often than not, the Braves gave that trio one heck of a fight. Little pop into shallow center. Ozzie's not going to get there. Ender comes up with it. He comes up ready to fire. It's cut off. And Kingery with a little flare has a base hit. And Phillies runners are at the corners with one out. And Nick Williams will pinch hit for Phillies starter Vince Velasquez.
Kingery's not getting many hits, but when he's getting them, he's certainly hitting his share of flares and bloops. And he'll take them. If there had been 2 outs, Franco would have scored easily because he could have just taken off running, but he had to make sure that ball was going to bloop in.
So the error has opened up the door for Philadelphia. They've got a run. They've got first and third. They've got Williams in the box. Another disappointing outing for Vince Velasquez. The Braves pounded him for 6 runs, 7 hits. A bunt try. And that's over by the on deck circle.
And his manager's standing there in the steps of the dugout shaking his hand like swing the bat.
So strike one for Nick Williams. Left-handed bat with that wind blowing to right. Be careful with him. That just missed inside, even count. Williams is 2 for 16 against the Braves this year. He is 0 for his last 18. Back to the mound. Second base one. First base high throw. Freeman got his foot down in time. There's that double play ball you were looking for. A high throw to Freeman, who left his feet to make the catch. Did he get his foot down in time to erase Williams?
Good reactions here by Brandon. Good throw. Dancy's throw just got away from him.
And apparently he did. So the Phillies will not challenge. It is a double play, and that ends the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. We go to the 5th inning. The Braves hold the lead now 6-1. TV. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Go to MLB.tv for all the details. This is Jake Thompson, just called back for the Phillies from Lehigh Valley.
He's got more pitches, I think, than anybody in baseball.
Really?
Yeah. Scouting report on him: 89 to 92 of this fastball. He'll throw a cutter.
Okay.
He'll throw a split.
That's 3.
A slider.
4.
And a curveball.
That's 5.
Whew. He's got it all.
Well, he also has a very impressive mark for the Phillies. He earned his first major league save on April the 7th against the Marlins. Pretty impressive. You get a save in the major leagues, right?
Sure.
Get the final 3 outs in a big game for your team. Well, there's a side note to that. It was a 20-1 game. And he pitched the final 3 innings for Philadelphia that day. He's given up 4 earned runs to the Braves in 2 innings this year, and that one missed outside. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Braves have an off day tomorrow. The Phillies don't. They fly to Miami and open up their series tomorrow night. So they really would like to see Thompson suck up some innings here as he pitches in the 5th. And a full count.
3-1 breaking ball, one of those 5 offerings.
Thompson's 24, born and lives in Dallas. And it's hit to the left side. Franco diving stop. Fires to first, and they got him. What a play. And what a great hustling effort by Markakis to bust it down the line. He almost beat that out.
Franco showing off his arm too, and it's a good one. That's why a lot of teams will leave the shortstop over there in that spot in the shift, just for their range and arm. Franco played that like a super shortstop.
Kurt Suzuki with a double and a run scored, and this one's popped up toward us and out of play for a strike. Thompson traded to the Phillies. That wasn't the first time he was dealt. He was originally a 2nd-round pick of the Tigers. In 2012, he was traded to Texas with Corey Knebel for Joakim Soria near the deadline in 2014. Hard hit ball, foul past third. 0-2. That was when the Tigers were really good, and seemingly, Joe, every year we're looking for somebody to close games for them. And it just never worked out for the Tigers to win the World Series in recent vintage. And Corey Knebel has gone on to have a terrific start to his career as a closer with Milwaukee, but he's hurt right now. The Brewers sure miss him. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I remember doing a postseason series between Baltimore and Detroit, and Detroit was heavily favored, and Baltimore swept them. And that was despite Verlander, Scherzer, and David Price being in the rotation for the Tigers, because the word was, you get those guys out of the game and get in the Tigers bullpen, you got them. And that's exactly what happened.
So Thompson now ahead of Kurt Suzuki. No balls, 2 strikes. And he froze him with a breaking ball. That was a good sequence. 2 up, 2 down in the Braves' 5th. Suzuki's 1 for 3. Johan Camargo's the batter.
That was a good pitch there. Here's the curveball.
It was Camargo going gone in the third inning, a 3-run home run. 5 hits, 7 RBIs for Johan this year. That'll play. Braves have 6 runs on 7 hits so far today. And that's taken low. 2 balls, no strikes. Phillies will have the top of their order up in the 5th inning. McCarthy's got to pitch 5 with this lead to qualify for the win. Phillies are already in their bullpen with Jake Thompson here in the 5th. Yeah, it's tipped and caught. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Crowd here in Philly awfully quiet. They were roaring, cheering, getting fired up for Game 3 of the series. Then the first pitch of the game was thrown to Ozzie Albies, and he launched it into the seats in right. And the Braves, with 2 outs, scored 5 runs in the 3rd inning. And broke the game open 6-1. The pitch is low. And a full count.
Another good at bat by Johan. He made a good pitch on him with the changeup. Let's see if they go to it. 3-2.
He went fishing and didn't get a high fastball. Camargo's retired. Thompson with a 1-2-3 5th. 6-1 Atlanta. We're halfway home in Philly. Grichuk, former Cardinal, trying to get things going for the Jays this year. He was another player that started very slowly at the plate. And hopefully he's coming on for Toronto. As we go to the home 5th inning, top of the order coming up for the Phillies. Brandon McCarthy, a workmanlike performance today. 71 pitches. He's gotten a double play ball. Right-handed hitters haven't done much damage against him. And he has struck out 5 today. Trying to go 3-0 against the Phillies this year, and 4-0 for Atlanta. The last Braves starter to begin the season 4-0. Here's a name out of the past for you. Williams Perez.
I was amused at that one myself.
Right?
4-0
to start the 2015 season, and was that the year, Joe, that he was maybe the best pitcher on the staff, and a line drive in Pittsburgh sent him hobbling off the field. He wasn't quite the same after that with the Braves.
No, he wasn't. Boy, he had a good changeup too. Great motion.
Anywhere. Two-two pitch. Ground ball hit towards short. And a low throw. Freeman dug it out.
Don't aim, Dansby. Let it go.
Dansby threw high on that double play ball off Williams' bat. He guides that one over to first, and there's out number one.
He's played a great shortstop. It's too bad about J.P. Crawford and his arm, elbow, whichever it is, it might be ailing, caused him to go in the DL. He claimed it wasn't that off-balance throw so much that he made last night going in the hole, but a relay he made, I think, on Freeman's triple.
One ball, no strikes for Santana, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Well, anytime you hear a pitcher talk about forearm strain, elbow strain, you immediately think Tommy John ligament. And you'll hope that that's not the case for the very talented J.P. Crawford. 1-1 pitch is bounced into the shift. Dansby charges, and he flips to first in time. Santana's retired. 2 up, 2 down.
Some ground balls. Got the comebacker from Williams for the 1-6-3 double play in the 4th inning, and 2 grounders this inning.
Here's Herrera. Odubel walked in the first, bounced out to first in the 3rd, so he's 0 for 1. Closing in on 3:30 here in Philadelphia. The Braves are rolling 6-1. That's slashed toward left. And that one is into the first row of seats. Nice catch.
Well, that's right there on the point.
Yeah. That's a great place to catch foul balls in this park.
I would think it'd be a great place to watch a game, but you got to pay attention.
Yeah, you got to make sure it's foul if you reach over the railing. Otherwise,
that girl in the red will slap you.
Now, I know at the Eagles games, fans can get somewhat boisterous and crazy. They had what they call the hanging judge. If you got in trouble, they'd take you down. They'd have a hearing for you right away.
Is that right?
That's the old days. I don't know if they have that here at Citizens Bank Park anymore.
Judge Parker.
Judge Parker. 1-1. Right there, a strike. Yeah, that was at Old Veterans Stadium, not Lincoln Financial Field, the home of the Super Bowl champion Eagles. And the fans of this entire series have been singing the Eagles fight song.
Well, to celebrate the Fanatic's birthday today, they had a lot of mascots come in to honor him, but boy, when they introduced the Eagles mascot, this place went crazy.
The Eagles mascot looks an awful lot like Screech, just for the record, in different colors, you know.
I'm going to give this one a little more credit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Screech, the mascot in Washington. Like his outfit just got out of the washing machine every day.
One ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, we can't forget about Villanova either.
Yeah. Yeah. What a run.
Yeah. Amazing.
76ers. finally have a team back in the NBA.
Yep. I know Jerome gets mad when we talk about Philadelphia being the city of champions, but 2 sports they are. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a Nova fan, an Eagles fan. And the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. Rhys Hoskins is on deck. Phillies have only 4 hits. They're trying to wait out McCarthy. And the pitch. He is out of play foul.
Boy, they're just racking up his pitch count with foul balls too. They only had 5 hits last night.
Another long at bat for Herrera. This one comes with 2 outs. Pitch number 87 coming for Brandon now. 21 foul balls out of the 86 pitches. Good news is he's been around the plate. Bad news is it's been overtime for him, and he issues a walk. Herrera with a bat flip to celebrate his second base on balls. And that'll bring up Hoskins, who is 0-for-2. Don't know how Rhys Hoskins' career is going to turn out, but in so many ways it reminds me of Pat Burrell, who was not a great outfielder by any stretch here in Philadelphia, but boy, could Pat hit. And this guy can too. He swings the first one and pops it up. Ozzie Albies drifts out. Markakis comes in. Ozzie says he's got it, and he does. Right in front of Nick Markakis, and that retires the side. McCarthy's faced the Phillies through 5 innings. He leads by 5, and he's coming up in inning number 6. It's all Atlanta in game 3.
Sherwin-Williams. Your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
Hey, our great photographer Sean Farnham went out to the Penn Relays while we were here in Philadelphia. World famous track and field competition.
What a historic place for track and field.
Dansby Swanson leads off for Atlanta in the 6th inning.
Mark DeRosa went to Penn, former Brave, quarterback. pretty fair to middling baseball player too, as it turned out.
And now a superstar TV host.
Does a good job
on the MLB Network. D-Row, hope you're doing well. 1 ball, no strikes for Dansby, who's 0 for 2, and didn't get it. It's an even count. Brandon McCarthy's on deck. He's going to go out for another inning, it appears. Then Ender Inciarte. The big story of the day for Atlanta. Brian Snitker, after the game last night, talked to Ender Inciarte, Ozzie Albies, about changing his lineup. And it was changed dramatically, which Paul Berg reported just before first pitch. Ender Inciarte, who's led off virtually every game for the Braves this year, was moved to the number 9 spot. Albies, Acuna, then Freeman, 1, 2, and 3. And all that lineup has done is turn in 6 runs, 7 hits in the first 3 innings of this game.
You know, I don't know how much longer I can keep making out those lineups. I don't really have time to.
Cesar drifts back, and he makes the catch.
Do that before the game. That is the handcraft of Walt Weiss, I believe. Is it?
I think it's Sal Fasano.
Is it Sal Fasano does? Okay.
Yeah.
Look at the umpires up there too. That's beautiful,
isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So think of, you make your major league debut, right? And in case of Acuna, in years past, you make your first appearance in a major league game, they hand you the lineup card. That's a memento forever. How cool would it be to have that beautiful penmanship for your opening game memento? That's awesome.
That's pretty artsy. I think I'll just have him make one up for us. Where do you want to hit in the lineup? Clean up, I know. Yeah. Yeah. How silly of me to ask.
Yeah, right. Come on. You know. 1-2 pitch. And strike 3 to McCarthy. He's down looking for the 3rd time. Yeah, where would we put our broadcasting mates? If we were to put together a big league lineup with our broadcast crew, where would you hit? Where would you hit Jim Powell, for example? Where does Jim hit?
Jim would be the leadoff man, little second sacker.
Second baseman, all right.
Leadoff.
Frank Coor, where's Frank Coor going to hit?
Third.
Yeah. At our age, I guess that's probably a safe bet.
Yep.
How about the Lemmer? If Jim's playing second, where's Lemke play?
Lemke's probably going to pitch and throw his knuckleball.
Okay. Fair enough.
Paul, where do you want to hit in the lineup? Hurry.
No, don't hurry. Santana makes an error. The good Lord wants to hear this answer.
Yeah, no, I'd love to hit 8th down there in the lineup, see what I could do, shake it up. I loved, I did love to hit. I know we're not the best athletes, but I just love to get out there and compete and hit. So, yeah, I'll take 8th.
Who'd you get your first hit off of, Paul?
The late Darryl Kyle. And
is that right?
Yeah, he threw me a fastball, and I was told on the bench, do not stick around for the hook.
Yeah.
So I swung at the first pitch and line drive up the middle, finished the season batting 1,000.
Way to go.
Tried to use that for offseason negotiations leverage, but
how'd that work out for you?
Didn't mean a lot as a reliever.
Inning continues for Ozzie as Carlos Santana just made his first error in 91 games. He'll have a chance to redeem himself here, and he does, and that ends the inning. All Atlanta, 6-1, middle of the 6th. And McCarthy's turn to work today. He's trying to go, Joe, 4-0 on the year.
And he's got a leg up on that with a nice 6-1 lead. 89 pitches. He's got at least one more inning in him, maybe two.
25% of those foul balls by the Phillies. But as a crafty veteran with the big lead, he's going to throw strikes. Aaron Altair's had the best day against him. He's got a single and a double. He's scored the lone run. And he just broke his bat, and he's 3 for 3. Glad we're getting out of town so Altair could do some damage against somebody else.
Yeah. Braves do have some action in their bullpen. Phillies are getting somebody up now too. It's like Moylan loosening up for us. Peter would be excited to know that a rugby player from Australia was taken in the NFL draft by the Eagles.
Yeah, and they're going to make him an offensive lineman or something. They had highlights of him playing rugby. He was dragging like 9 guys to the goal line. Make him a fullback.
Like a human plow.
That'll be a fun experiment. Here's Knapp. He struck out and grounded out. Never really got into rugby, but as a kid I used to love watching the Australian rules football games. What a crazy sport that is. All those guys can dribble the ball, I guess, when they're running it. The oblong ball, it bounces right back to them, and amazing. 1-1 pitch. Right there, a strike.
Head in the count. Work his magic, get that ground ball, shorten the inning.
Low tapper foul. Had him reaching for it.
Yep.
Well, Joe, your 4 keys, double play balls. Brandon got a key one of those in the 4th. And control the right-hand hitters. And you've got a couple knocks, but no real damage today.
Yeah, but that's kind of odd, isn't it, that the right-handers give him more trouble than the lefties? Perhaps because he can't throw that good sinker too much to the right-handers and like he can to the lefties down and away.
Swing and a miss by Knapp, who has struck out a lot this year. That's the 20th time he has punched out. Remember, he's sharing time with Alfaro behind the plate. And McCarthy with number 6 matches his season high, I believe. And that might be the last pitch he throws in the game as Brian Snitker's on his way out. 95 pitches for Brandon McCarthy and a 5-run lead. Excellent job for Brandon. He is in great shape, looking for win number 4 for Atlanta. 6-1's your score. Peter Moylan's on with 1 on and 1 out.
PHI, your local Ford dealer. The Georgia Lottery. And by the All-South Highway Safety Team. The All-South Highway Safety Team reminds you to play it safe by always wearing your seatbelt.
Chipper loved facing the Phillies. Loved facing the Mets, too. He delivered a couple of knockout blows in his career, including one memorable one against Jonathan Papelbon not so long ago.
Treated him like Apollo Creed.
Yes, he did. Here's Peter Moylan, his 13th game. Well, can't say enough about the job Brandon McCarthy did today. Got an early run, loaded the bases in the first, and then pitched shutout ball into the fourth inning and has allowed just one run today.
Last 4 outings for Peter have been off and on. Starting with an outing against the Mets, 1 inning, 0s across, a walk and a strikeout. Next outing at Cincinnati, 1 inning, 3 hits, a walk, 2 runs scored. And against the Phillies the other night, an inning, 3 hits, a run.
Well, I think as much as we've talked about the Braves hitters hoping April never ends, the relief corps would probably say the exact opposite. They're looking for a rebound in the month of May, and I'll explain more specifically after the pitch, which is hit on the ground. Sweep try by Dansby. What a play! That's as good as it gets right there. A tough hop, and his momentum took him to the bag, and he starts a gorgeous inning-ending 6-3 double play. What an effort by Dansby Swanson to end the 6th. Atlanta is your score. Acuna, Freeman, and Markakis are coming up again. Ronald has doubled, walked, and popped out. And he whistles one into the seats to the left side, foul. 0-1. Can't imagine what media hype this young man's going to face in New York on Tuesday as the Mets get their first look at Ronald Acuna. Great opportunity for him against Matz, Syndergaard, and DeGrom.
And assuming that he's getting his first look at the Big Apple.
1 ball, 1 strike. And that's taken inside. 2 balls and a strike. it is his first trip to New York, he won't be the only member of the Braves never to have been to New York City. Shane Carl has also never been there.
Is that right?
I was having coffee with Shane this morning, and he said, well, I've been to New York, but Jamestown, New York.
Oh.
I said, well, this place is a little different than Jamestown, I'm sure. And that's inside. Acuna takes a walk. And here we go in the 7th inning. Atlanta looking to add to the lead.
This may have been the prettiest part of this double play when Dansby handled the in-between hop. He had no choice but to charge it. It was a high chopper. And then to throw back against his body like that as he's jumping in the air. Wasn't any hesitation on that.
Nope. So the Braves have turned a couple of big double plays in the game today. And they have been in command from the very first pitch of this game, which Ozzie Albies hit out of the ballpark. Freeman takes a shot at left field and skies it foul. Strike one. As you heard Paul Bird report, Mike Soroka was supposed to start for Gwinnett. He has been scratched because we await word on the availability of Julio Teheran on Wednesday. Colby Allard started for Gwinnett, went 6 1/3 scoreless yesterday, so good news for him.
Good outing.
He's got a 2.57 ERA over his first 21 AAA innings.
I think he's only 20, maybe 21.
No balls, 2 strikes. Touki Toussaint at Mississippi went 7 innings of 1 run, no walk ball. Wes Parsons pitches for Mississippi tonight. Christian Pache with the Fire Frogs has hit safely in 7 of 8.
I think you need to call a timeout.
And Joey Wentz will pitch for the Fire Frogs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Thank God we're not in San Diego. 6-1 Atlanta.
Colby Allard, Gretchen tells me, is the youngest player in the International League. He is just 20, and Soroka's the 2nd youngest.
That's something the Braves have been doing the last couple of years. They really have pushed their prospects and maybe pitched them at higher levels than their age would suggest doing, but their talent has made the age irrelevant. Done so well.
Allard will be 21 in August.
One ball, 2 strikes for Freddie Freeman. The pitch. That's fouled back. Well, there have been a ton of foul balls in this game, haven't there?
Nobody really dominating.
Ronald draws a throw. Young man pitching for the Pittsburgh Pirates today is trying to make some history. Nick Kingham is making his major league debut, and at last report he had a perfect game through 7 innings against St. Louis. That's a 4-0 score. Cubs lead Milwaukee 1-0 in the 6th. Washington 3-1 over Arizona in the 7th.
Wouldn't that be something? First big league game through a perfect game. Encore would be kind of tough.
Your
Wouldn't it?
pitching coach. Well, it's all downhill from here, kid. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Big lead for Acuna.
He's going, and that's way outside. The throw has no chance to get him, and Ronald Acuna has his first stolen base. Time was called. He came off the bag. And Atlanta continues to add to their great stolen base totals in 2018. They are running at will. That gives the Braves 23 of them this year. Excuse me, 24 of them. I forgot about Ender, who has 13 to lead all National League players. So an RBI chance for Freeman here with a hit. Full count. High fly ball down the right field line. The wind is trying to push it, and it is foul. It did push it. Otherwise, that would have been out of here.
That was a little bit like Camargo's swing. Like he was fooled on a pitch out in front of it and pulled it foul about 10 feet. Yep. Gives you a glimpse of his power, though. Not even 10 feet.
So we'll do it again at 3-2. And Freddie takes a walk. So Thompson has walked 2 in a row. Nobody up in their bullpen. They'd like to have him finish this game, perhaps, or at least pitch another inning. His spot's due second when the Phillies come up. Here's Markakis. Nick picked up an infield hit in the 3rd inning that scored 2 runs. You might recall Ozzie Albies was at second base. Nick hit it into the shift. Cesar Hernandez dived up the middle, knocked the ball down, and by the time he scrambled to his feet, Ozzie was diving across home plate. That was a big play in this game. The Braves were about to waste another golden opportunity to add to a 1-0 lead. A double and a 3-run home later, the Braves had scored 5 runs and busted the game open.
Could have easily have been no runs that inning.
So 18 RBIs for Markakis, who pops this one up into shallow right center field. Herrera comes charging in. So does Altair. And his long strides take care of Nick Markakis for the first out. Kurt Suzuki will stand in for the 4th time. He's doubled and scored.
As much as the wind's blowing still, grounds crew's done a good job of keeping this from being a real dust bowl.
Stretch is coming up on a cold, blustery day in Philly. Another pop-up. And the wind's going to play with this. Kingery's having some trouble. He's there right by Cesar Hernandez. He started in the outfield grass behind shortstop and ended up right at the second base bag. That's how much the wind blew that baseball. And he hung with it for the second out.
And the good thing was for him was that he didn't have to catch it. It was an infield fly, so that was an automatic out. A lot of pop outs today.
And a lot of pop from Johan Camargo, who hit a 3-run homer. So he's 1 for 3. And batting .313 in limited duty. The pitch is smoked towards center. Herrera on the run. He's still going back. He's still going back. And he makes the grab right in front of the State Farm sign. A laser off the bat of Johan Camargo. And another fine catch by Adubel Herrera to rob the Braves of a chance to pick up a 7th run or perhaps more. That was not an easy play, and Herrera's had an excellent defensive series against the Braves. Atlanta gets 2 walks to start the inning. 3 balls hit in the air, retires the side. And at the 7th inning stretch of Game 3, Atlanta's enjoying a 6-1 lead. Brandon McCarthy in command on his way to his 4th win. If the Braves can get 9 more outs, And we'll see how it works out as we enjoy God Bless America in Philly. Nice job. Okay, guys, nice job breaking down what's been an excellent month of March and April for Atlanta. The Braves trying to win their 16th game. They need to get 9 more outs with a 5-run lead. They've got Kingery, then the pitcher spot, then Cesar Hernandez here at Citizens Bank Park. And that's inside corner for a strike. It's quickly 0-2. That's what Peter can do with that sweeping slider. He really makes right-hand hitters uncomfortable.
They want him to make them more uncomfortable. The right-handers are the ones that Brian Snitker want to bring Peter in to put away and give him trouble. That has not been the case so far.
The 0-2 pitch is hammered foul.
And that's because of the command that's required for that breaking ball, that sidearm slider. That he left it inside the inner half that time.
31,010. The official attendance today on the Fanatics' birthday. Phillies haven't had much to celebrate yet, as the Braves have scored 6 runs in the first 3 innings. And that was enough for Brandon McCarthy, who went 5 1/3 with only 1 run allowed. Thompson's got the Bat in his hands in the on deck circle. Phillies trying to save innings for their bullpen. And a little pop into shallow right. That'll carry out to Markakis, who's got it. And Moylan retires Kingery for out number 1.
Going back to that last out in the top half of the inning, that ball that Camargo hit to center, with the way the wind's blowing and knocking balls down, for him to hit it all the way out there, that ball had to be really crushed.
So Thompson will hit for himself here. And that's in for a strike. Thompson a starting pitcher, so you figure he's stretched out. He can give him multiple innings today. And if the Phillies don't win this game, he will be the MVP of this ball game if he can finish the last 2 innings, because of a heavy workload by their very good bullpen. You have them all rested and ready to go starting in Miami tomorrow. And he swings and misses, the old get off me ball swing.
Hey, boy, he came so close.
And there's strikeout number 1 for Peter. That's kind of swing I would take in our makeshift broadcasters lineup.
Well, then you're going to have to move down in the order.
I can't hit 4th.
No. Yeah, you're going to have to slide down a little bit.
Yeah. Problem is, we've got a lot of talented people we could put in a lot of different places. I mean, where's Nick Green hit?
Yeah, Nick's at the top of the order too.
Yeah. Cesar Hernandez is 0-for-3 with a couple of strikeouts.
We may have to put Nick in the leadoff spot.
Okay.
Limmer batting second.
All right.
Francoeur third.
Yep.
Powell clean up.
Well, if this team was playing in a league of jockeys, we'd have it covered. Bertie, what do you think? Two balls and a strike. Fly ball fouled to the left side. It's 2-2. I think Bertie's having a heart attack thinking about having that defensive lineup behind him.
Well, and we got Brian Jordan.
Yep.
There's our cleanup hitter.
There you go.
Guys, I'd also like to remind you I can come off the bench and pinch a run. I don't know if you saw me against the Freeze.
Oh,
For
yeah.
about 50 or 60 feet, I'm pretty good.
Boy, did we forget.
That's not right. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
He was injured and he still went to the post. That's what I remember.
Yeah. Did they put those goggles in the Braves Hall of Fame, by the way?
They should have. That.
Yeah.
There was gravel coming all over the place and air and wind.
Bug splattered?
Yeah, especially when the Freeze passed me.
Moylan walks Hernandez with 2 outs. And there's Peter's first base runner in the game. Well, that's the thing I was talking about earlier, as Brian Snitker is going to come out and make a change. Atlanta's bullpen, by and large, done a really nice job. However, 63 walks, now 64 of them in the month of April alone. That's not going to cut it over the course of the summer, even with an offense that's performing like Atlanta's is. They've just made it really hard on themselves. So let's see what changes Brian makes here. We're going to have a double switch. A couple of guys might come on in a 5-run game. And Peter Moylan will be taken down. Sam Freeman, I believe, is the man coming into pitch. We'll see who else is on the lineup card when we come right back. Chilly afternoon in Philadelphia, which has a very rich baseball heritage. The Phillies played their first game May 1st, 1883. Over 2,036 different players have worn a Philadelphia uniform.
Goodness.
In the major leagues,
Sam Freeman on for his 16th game. Saw Ryan Flaherty check in on the double switch. Flaherty will bat in the 8th spot. Freeman in Camargo's place.
Now, the first National League game was played in Philadelphia, not in 1883, but April 22nd, 1876. They were the Philadelphia Athletics. That team disbanded. They were in 7th place with a 14-45 record. They couldn't make their final Western road trip because they ran out of money, and as a result, they were kicked out of the league. And the Philadelphia fans were without a National League franchise until 1883. And here they are. And the Phillies media guide says the Phillies are the oldest continuous one nickname, one city franchise in all of sports.
Oh,
which I didn't know.
That's a good one.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Carlos Santana, who bats right-handed here. And Freeman takes care of him. That's a more like it. Moylan issues a walk and nothing else. We're through 7 complete in Philly. It's 6-1. Braves lead it. The sizzle, 6 more runs, 7 more hits, a ton of extra base hits as well. They got to Vince Velasquez, and the 3 amigos, Joe, were right in the middle of it.
Absolutely, they were. A beautiful double play turn there by Dansby. Good work across the board. Ender Inciarte batting 9th today. He's gone 2 for 3 with a triple.
Let's see if Dansby can get in on the fun. As that one skied away, foul off of the bat of the Braves shortstop. Ryan Flaherty will hit next, then Ender Inciarte.
Dansby's hit a little bit of a dry spell. He's 4 for his last 27. Hit the ball hard in Cincinnati on a few occasions and didn't have anything to show for it.
Did he go? Yes, he did.
Huh. That was more dodge than swing, but yeah. Good call by Scott Berry there.
And it's 0-2. Thompson has not allowed a hit in his first 3 innings of relief. He was saving the Phillies' pen today. As Dansby's down on strikes. A 2 strikeout day for him. That gives him 8 in 28 at bats on the trip.
Pretty good downer there from Thompson.
So here's Flaherty. Ryan has worn out the Phillies, the team that he was in spring training camp with this year. So you know there's a great deal of satisfaction for Ryan to do so well against a team he ought to know better than anybody.
Yeah.
Playing with him for 6-8 weeks.
They thought they knew him. Turned out they didn't.
Good point. He has torched them at the plate. And that missed down and in. Ball 3. That youngster in Pittsburgh has lost his perfect game bid. He's lost his no-hit bid. Nick Kingham gave up a 7th inning hit, I believe, or a 6th inning hit.
Couple of them.
But he's out of the game for the Pirates. But what a debut. Beating the Cardinals 5-0 in your first major league game. That's very impressive work. And downstairs, ball 4. So that's the 3rd walk for Thompson. This has been a walk, foul ball, strikeout fest. And here's Ender. I think it'll be very interesting to hear Ender's comments after this game about this drop to the number 9 spot in the order. As Brian Snitker said repeatedly, he communicated this with Ender, who said he was on board with it to help him clear his head and get more productive results at the plate. As we've said, he's getting his hits, and he got 2 more today, and he's reached all 3 times.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that because he had hit in 10 out of 11 games with a real high average. So whatever concerns Ender had about his own game come as a bit of a surprise because he was swinging it so well. He's not hitting home runs, but the Braves don't expect him to.
Yeah, he's got
double digits last year.
I beg your pardon. He's hit 12 of 13 games with 21 hits in that stretch.
Yeah.
So that's the old, if it's not broken, why fix it? Line drive into right field. He's got a 3-hit game. Flaherty's picking him up, putting him down. He's going to end up at third base, and Ender has a triple, a single, and now a double. And if he keeps this up, he's going to be hitting 9th on Tuesday night. What a day for Ender Inciarte.
Yeah, normally you say to a guy, well, you keep swinging the bat like this, I'm going to move you up in the order. No.
Yeah.
You keep hitting like this, you're going to bat 9th.
Right.
Stay there. Very patient swing, too. Remember, there was a time earlier in the year, and I attributed it to cold weather, that he was really getting out on his front foot and trying not to get jammed and taking some bad hacks. Not lately. He's been staying back, really stroking it.
Well, here is Ozzie Albies. He has been everywhere in this series. 3 more hits. He's hit his 9th home run. He has 21 extra base hits. He scored a couple of runs. He's stolen a base. Such an exciting player. The 2nd youngest in baseball and the 2nd youngest on his own team. The youngest player is the man on deck, Ronald Acuna. No balls and a strike. Atlanta with 8 hits, 6 of them have been extra base hits. Infield in. As Thompson readies for his 59th pitch, and it's golfed into right field. That's down for a base hit. That'll score Flaherty. Here comes Ender around third. He's going to score. It's another double for Ozzie Albies. 22 extra base hits. one shy of the record of 23 held by Jermaine Dye before May 1st.
And oh, by the way, he's got 20 RBIs. Goodness gracious. See, that's a pitch I think that fools people. Look how far this ball is inside. Looked like a cutter in on him, and he's able to get to it and turn on it. Well done, Ozzie.
So it's 8-1 Atlanta. Albies first in runs scored, first in the league in hits, tied for first in homers. He's in the top 5 in RBIs. He leads the league in multi-hit games. He leads the league in total bases. Those are MVP type attributes.
Yeah, not just player of the month.
No.
Has he exceeded the rookie numbers?
I don't know the answer to that.
Gretchen said he has.
He has, so he can't win the Rookie of the Year. Well, how about MVP? Certainly make a case for Player of the Month for the Braves as Acuna, 1-0 count. And now the Phillies bullpen is busy as Thompson has given up 2 more 8th inning runs. Back-to-back doubles by Ender and Albies. Luis Garcia's trying to warm up on a cold day. 2 balls, no strikes. Fly ball hammered toward left center field. Herrera back. That is off the wall. It ricochets away from him. 1 run is in. He stumbles around the bag. A sniper got him. He'll have to head back to the base. And the ball dropped by Kingery. The long strides of Acuna had him off balance. He belly flopped in between second and third and then got back to the base, and he's got a double and an RBI.
Great extension. I thought this might get out for a little bit, but again, the wind knocked this down, kept it in the ballpark, and then it was off to the races. But he got out over his feet right there a little bit. He stumbled right before he stutter-stepped at the bag and had to go back. He had a triple easily in the bag.
5 doubles today for the Braves. Acuna has 4 of them. For the season, that is,
yeah.
of the 65 that the Braves have as a club. 65 doubles in a month plus. Unbelievable.
Incredible.
And Rick Kranitz is on his way out to the mound. I don't care what Jake Thompson does the rest of this game. He has done an amazing job of just trying to get this thing to the 9th inning. He's given up 3 runs here in the 8th on 3 consecutive 2-base hits. But this is such a dynamic Atlanta offense right now, Joe. It's not just guys hitting the ball out of the ballpark, which everybody can do. These are guys that aren't striking out. The lefties hit lefties well. They take extra bases. They steal bases. They've bunted well. I mean, right now, there aren't many places for the opposing teams to go to get outs.
No. No, it's solid up and down.
And so much fun to watch. As Freeman digs in and 0 for 3. And the folks in Atlanta, your next chance to see the Braves will be next weekend. It's a brief pit stop homestand. 3 games with the Giants. May 4th, 5th, and 6th. Freddie might have cracked his bat. Apparently not. 1 ball, 1 strike. So if you have a major plans next week, come on out and see us at SunTrust Park. The Braves and the Giants.
Braves have 10 hits today, 2 singles.
Yeah, when the other ones are those big hits, that's a real good day.
Tell you something about that play, or the ball that Acuna hit. Aaron Altair probably saved an inside the park homer by being heads up to back up the play. He hustled over knowing that the carom off that part of the wall would come toward him.
That's one of the cool things about this park. You get a lot of quirky bounces here. And Acuna with a 2-double day leads at second. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Freeman. And he chased one across the shoe tops. He's retired. Freddie 0 for 4. The crowd giving Thompson a little cheer. Freeman as well, as Thompson has his 5th strikeout.
That breaking ball again. That's well disguised.
So that's going to be the end of the line for Thompson. He went 3 2/3 gutty innings. He struck out 5, walked 3, and has allowed 3 more Atlanta runs to come across. 9-1 Braves in Game 3.
He's been running hard some, and he's raced himself to the top of the league in a whole bunch of different categories. Tied for first in homers. Are you kidding me?
With Charlie Blackmon.
Wow.
He plays in Colorado, and he's looking on as Luis Garcia's on to face Nick Markakis. Acuna at second with 2 out.
This guy can bring it. Upper 90s, split, slider. Been in a lot of games.
One ball, no strikes. I recall last year Garcia had a 21 2/3 inning scoreless streak, which was the longest by a Phillies reliever in a single year since Larry Anderson had 32 2/3 scoreless, and I think he had that broken against the Braves.
I believe that's right. Old LA.
One pitch. And a swing and a miss.
Larry's in the ballpark. He's one of the radio announcers, broadcasters for the Phillies, has been for many years.
You can always tell it's Larry because you don't have to call him Kevin.
True.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch to Markakis is downstairs. This is the 6th straight game for the Braves with 9 or more hits.
Boy, what a luxury that is.
And 12 games this year. They've had 10 or more in the first month of the season. That's one worth keeping. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It'll be put to the test on Tuesday night in New York. Steven Matz is the Braves opponent that night. Sean Newcomb is going for Atlanta. The pitch. It's up the middle, but right into the shift. And the throw to first is in time. 10 years ago, that's a base hit. Not so with all the shifting in the big leagues. Atlanta 3 more in the 8th. 9-1 your score.
I'd kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, Phillies fans are saying woof after this game. It's 9-1 Atlanta. McCarthy started, Moylan, Freeman, and now Jesse Biddle will pitch. You know, this has to be an emotional moment for Jesse, who is a top prospect of the Phillies before he had all kinds of injury problems. Biddle made his big league debut April 21st against the Mets.
First-round draft pick by the Phillies.
And a local kid, grew up in the Mount Airy section of town. Great note on Biddle in the Braves press notes today. He became the first Atlanta reliever to earn the win in his debut game since Jed Bradley, September 3rd, 2016, here in Philadelphia. And he misses outside to Odubel Herrera, who's been very, very willing to just keep the bat on his shoulder today. He's walked twice and bounced out once. Biddle has a unique delivery. Comes set, and then his front foot comes off the ground. He pauses there and then makes his kick forward.
Yeah, it's forward. It doesn't come up.
Herrera, Hoskins, and Altair coming up. Hit hard toward Ozzie. He surrounds it from the outfield grass, makes the play. And Herrera is 0 for 2, 1 man down. Pittsburgh did beat the Cardinals. That's a 5-0 final. Miami shut out Colorado 3-0 today. Nationals just beat Arizona 3-1. The Mets have a 1-0 lead in the first inning out in San Diego. Mets got clobbered by the Padres 12-2 last night. Jason Vargas made his debut, 9 runs in 3 2/3 innings for the Mets. Franchi Cordero and Carlos Villanueva hit home runs for the San Diego Padres.
Boy, Villanueva's having a good April.
One of his homers went 450 feet yesterday. And that's into the seats to the left side by Hoskins. Even count.
Been playing third base. He's got a bunch of homers, but he's got a bunch of errors too. Reading the thing about Arizona having won the series already in Washington before today, that they've won every series so far, and it's like 9 series perhaps.
9 straight series victories to start the year.
And that hadn't been done since like early 1900s.
1907 Cubs.
Wow.
Popped up behind first. Braves have a shift on. This is Freddie or Markakis. Freeman giving chase and can't make the play. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Tell you, Big Fred can run. You mentioned him being a tight end for the Eagles or the Falcons or somebody, and he could be, because he can really go.
The 2-2 is caught on and missed, and I think the Braves may have found something on Hoskins. They've pitched him away a lot in the early games of this season series, but across the shoe tops and in, he's swung and missed quite a bit.
Boy, that was a late breaker too.
Middle part of the 2010 Major League Draft. Bryce Harper, number 1. Manny Machado was 3. Matt Harvey was 7. Chris Sale was 13. Mike Foltynewicz 19th in that draft. Christian Yelich was 23rd. Noah Syndergaard was 38th.
Is that right? Yeah, Mansfield, Texas. He just hadn't bloomed yet, you know. Probably had the size, he just hadn't matured enough for anybody to take him any higher than that.
That's out of play, foul. And the count to Aaron Altair, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, if the Braves can get through the 9th inning, they will have caught the Phillies in the division. They'll have identical 16-11 records, as Biddle with a very happy homecoming. Boy, was that nice. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. And it is to the 9th we go. Atlanta with an 8-run lead. you the latest from the Braves during your lunch hour. Stream the show tomorrow at noon Eastern on Facebook Live. Corey McCarthy and Zach Dillard are the stars of Chopcast Live. They do a great job, and can't wait to hear their latest episode tomorrow at noon. 9-1 after 8. Braves in command of Game 3. They're about to take 3 series in a row to start the year against Philadelphia.
Roy and Zach have a lot of good stuff to talk about on the off day tomorrow. Braves ran into a buzzsaw the first 2 games of the road trip in Cincinnati because the Reds were mad about losing. They got over that after Tuesday.
Right. So Atlanta about to have a 4-3 road trip working, with 3 more left in New York starting Tuesday. Kurt Suzuki leads off the Atlanta 9th, and up and in. That got hand or bat, and I hope it was bat.
No.
He gets hit on the hands more than anybody I can remember.
You know, he and Tyler. Tyler's got a guard on the back of his hand now. Well, it's like it just pinned it on the bat.
I can't imagine how bad that hurts with a glove on. Could you imagine no glove in the cold weather like this? And Kurt Suzuki thanking his lucky stars as he gets hit by another inside pitch. How many times has he been drilled this year? Let's see, that is the 4th time already. He's played 22 games.
And the Phillies want to know if it was a foul ball or not
in a 9-1 game.
Remember, Kurt had a weird one and a scary one in Cincinnati against Homer Bailey that hit the knob of the bat and came right back to Homer for an out. Went 1-3 for the out.
Yeah, it was kind of a check swing, and we heard the tick, but we didn't know what it hit.
It's got a little crooked little finger there, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Kind of like that one.
Kind of looks like he was showing it to Gabe Kapler. So the call stands. It is a hit by pitch. So Biddle gets a chance to swing the bat. Hey, he's got a fan club here. Friends and family watching him play in his hometown. There's the Biddle clan. Boy, how rewarding this has to be for Jesse. #1 pick, so much promise, sidetracked by injury. And that indescribable feeling of picking up your first major league win in your first game. I mean, that's...
How about getting your first hit and your first at bat?
Even that'd be great too. Atlanta has 10 hits already. And he shoots one toward left. That ball is
on the chalk.
On the chalk. It's a fair ball for Biddle. Suzuki's getting green light. He's going to come around. It's an RBI double. That's awesome.
That is great. Fastball running away from him and literally on the chalk. And watching Jesse run, he was watching the ball and almost overran the bag at first. Whoop.
Oh man, how great is that?
Another double.
Oh,
The Braves.
he fits right in, doesn't he? Unbelievable. What a thrill. Can you imagine what the hugs and handshakes will be like for that guy after this game?
It's awesome.
As the Braves have put a 10 spot on the Phillies today. And Dansby takes a little low for an even count. He just absolutely guided that ball down the line. And kicked up just enough chalk for it to stay fair. And Kurt Suzuki, the sweet revenge, scoring after he was hit by a pitch. One and two. Ten runs, 11 hits for the Braves, a run on 5 hits for the Phillies. And Knapp has had to work a lot. There have been a ton of pitches in this game. A lot of walks, a lot of strikeouts. 16 hits, 11 runs. And lots and lots and lots of foul balls. But if that's the recipe for a 10-1 win for the Braves every day, we'll take it. Pitch off the end of the bat. And 2-2.
So Dansby can get back on track by lining one to right field here. Space over there.
Biddle leads at second with nobody out. He does shoot one toward right, but Herrera's there and will catch it. And there is the first out of the 9th inning.
Best swing of the day for Dansby.
Yeah, makes an out, but hopefully that'll get him back on the beam Tuesday night against the Mets. Here's Flaherty. Ryan walked and scored in the 3-run 8th. Braves got one in the first. First pitch of the game. Ozzie Albies hit out of the park. They got 5 runs in the 3rd. 3 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th. That's been something else that's been fun about this Braves team. They don't often get their 3 or 4 runs and then sit on them. They keep adding on, a run here, a run there. And that certainly was the case today with 4 late inning tallies. No balls and a strike. That got away. Biddle will stay at second base. Ender Inciarte, 9th on the lineup card, is a homer away from the cycle. Think about that. Has anybody hit for the cycle batting 9th?
I don't. That's a pretty good one.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's high, 2-1. Most likely chance would be in the American League with the DH, of course, but with the pitcher batting 8th for Atlanta today, Ender was pushed to 9th. 12 hits for him on the road trip. Good rip by Flaherty. It's now 2-2. Braves will go to 6-0 in rubber games in a series. They'll go to 8-1 in day games. They're averaging almost 7 runs a game in the natural sunshine. They got 10 today. They've hit 6 doubles. That's the 5th time in the last 5 seasons that the Braves have had a 6-double affair in a major league game.
That's surprising. And neither one of those two guys has one.
Yep, Freddie 0 for 4, Dansby 0 for 9. The pitch is caught on and Knapp held on. Flaherty's retired on strikes, and here's Ender. Triple, single. He reached on an air. He's doubled and scored. That was a big league pitch. Braves have been aggressive all day early in the count, as you say, Joe, with runners in scoring position, especially so, especially this guy.
In most cases, the last thing you want to see is Ender to swing for the fences. But he has a green light here. Try to launch one.
Favorable wind for him, blowing toward the right field corner. The pitch is slashed out of play, foul. Most extra base hits in a game this season by any major league team is 10. The Indians, Tigers, Cubs, and Blue Jays have done it. The Braves have 9 extras today. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Who were the teams again? Blue Jays, Indians?
Blue Jays, Indians, the Tigers, and the Cubs.
Okay, I was thinking in my head they were all American League teams, but obviously the Cubs are not.
The 2-1 pitch. Hammered foul left side. Cubs are beating Milwaukee again 2-0 in the 9th inning.
They own them.
I think this will be 8-1 if they finish off their game at Wrigley today. 8-1 against Milwaukee head to head. Jose Quintana beat him yesterday. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And this is the sign of a professional hitter. No matter the score, no matter the count, no matter the inning, grind out the at bat.
Mariners have been scoring a bunch of runs. They got 10 more today themselves at Cleveland. They're now 16 and 11.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And a full count. Well, this is the kind of game that their hitting coach would have loved. Edgar Martinez, doubles machine. Looks like it'll be a happy trip to New York for Atlanta, a long flight to South Florida for the Phillies. The payoff is ball 4 high. And Ozzy's coming up again. Albies has been everywhere, and it's funny how it works. If he can pick up an extra base hit, he'll tie the record for most extra base hits before May 1st. Jermaine Dye has 23 of them. Ozzy's sitting on 22 of them.
He may petition to ask MLB to let him play tomorrow somewhere. He won't get to play on the last day of April.
The Phillies do have bullpen activity. But you know Gabe Kapler, well, maybe you don't know Gabe Kapler. Yep, he can't help himself. He's going to make a very slow, calculated walk to the mound. And Warm up his hands. Get to the center of the diamond.
Get booed.
And then finally take the baseball.
That's a good idea. Bad Boy's running the jacket out to Jesse Biddle. I was hoping he would do that.
So the Phillies make another pitching change with 2 outs in the 9th inning of a 10-1 game. Water cooler takes a little punishment. He hit Kurt Suzuki with a pitch in the 9th inning. Gabe Kapler has taken him down, and Drew Hutchinson is going to come on and pitch. Joe, I don't think he threw more than 4 or 5 pitches.
No, he didn't. And I was just over in the press box, and there are Phillies people giving each other hugs. So despondent.
Yeah. Well, this game got out of hand pretty early against Velasquez. He gave up 6 runs after 3. No qualms at all about pitching Jake Thompson as long as he did. He was trying to save the bullpen as long as he could. Garcia got out of the 8th inning and then had it unravel here in the 9th inning, and now Hutchinson has to come in to try to retire Albies and get this thing to the bottom of the 9th inning. 3 more runs for Ozzie Albies. What he hopes will be a record tying at bat here in the 9th inning. And Ozzie will be Paul's guest on Braves Live post-game show. That's coming up hopefully in just a few minutes. Swing and a drive. That ball's hammered deep toward right field, but it's caught on the track. Oh, it had the sound.
Good thing Altair was playing him to right center.
Whew. Otherwise, that would have been number 23. Jesse Biddle, though, the story in the 9th inning. His first career at bat, his first career hit, and RBI. He's batting 1,000, and he's 1-0 in the major leagues. And his family's loving every minute of it. lead. Jesse Biddle was on the base paths a while. As Joe said, he had the jacket, so hopefully he was able to stay warm and he can stay loose. With Knapp, Franco, and Kingery coming up for the Philadelphia Phillies. This is some kind of series for the Braves. Atlanta was beaten behind Aaron Nola 7-3 in the first game. And then the Braves came roaring back 4-1 yesterday, and now 10-1 in game 3. And Knapp almost got plunked. 1 ball, no strikes. Was a message being sent there?
I don't think so. Not in a 10-1 game. Well, maybe it was.
Cesar Hernandez is barking at the home plate umpire, Scott Berry, as Knapp has backed out of the way on 2 inside pitches. Three balls, no strikes. And on 4 straight, Knapp's aboard to start inning number 9. Franco is singled. He's reached on an error. He's hit into a double play, and he's knocked in the lone Phillies run. No need to hold Knapp in a big lead, as that one's outside. 5 straight have missed from Biddle.
Standing out there at second base, and the chilly air may have caused him to tighten up a little bit.
And did Suzuki get hit on the backswing?
Something hurt. Which hand did he get hit? His left one? His glove hand?
I think it was.
I bet he caught that ball funny.
Could have been. And then sure enough, he gets foul ball off the catcher's gear somewhere. 1-2 count. He will enjoy a trip to the Whirlpool and a day off tomorrow. Swing and a miss. Franco way out in front. And Biddle has his 3rd strikeout in relief.
Yeah, he shook off a couple of signs from Kurt and wanted to throw the slow curve ball and threw it to the great spot in the back of the plate. Big spin and a miss by Franco.
Here's Kingery. He's 1 for 3. Celebrating his 24th birthday today, but not the way he and the Phillies would have hoped. And you hear the fans singing happy birthday to him as he digs in and fouls it away. No balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3 inside corner. 4 strikeouts for Biddle.
Boy, love it. So happy for him, especially in front of so many family and friends. It's great.
Jesmuel Valentin is making his major league debut. So an exciting moment for him. Congratulations. One ball, no strikes. And Biddle is razor sharp all of a sudden again.
Well, he's having trouble locating that fastball. Went to his off-speed stuff, and that's been spot on.
You remember Jose Valentin?
I do.
This is his son.
Is that right?
Yep. What does that make me feel old? I remember watching his dad play. Terrific player. Jess Well is 23 years old. Was acquired from the Dodgers. And a swing and a miss. What a way for Jesse Biddle to finish the game. He strikes out the side in his hometown. He picks up his first big league hit. The Braves take 2 out of 3 in Philadelphia with a ton of extra base hits, winning 10-1 today.
Jesse struck out 5 of the 6 outs he recorded against his old original team, and just great stuff today, up and down, but I'm really happy for him. Braves offense continues to click. Fun to watch.
Atlanta takes its 3rd series against the Philadelphia Phillies head-to-head. Atlanta now 11-7 in the East, 16-11 overall. They've caught Philadelphia in the standings, and now look forward to a big series with the Mets, the first-place team, coming up starting on Tuesday. Big win for Brandon McCarthy. He's 4-0. Atlanta clobbers the Phillies 10-1. We'll talk about that with you on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. Paul Berg will join us for that right after this.